Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is the first episode of Tantor's Journal, maybe. I haven't actually decided what I'm going to name it, but you'll see what the name is by the time it's out, I guess. So, spoiler alert, Tantor is alive. And we're going to be following what's going on with him because it's something that we should have done with the We Play. So we'll keep track of his story. Just a few quick words about Dungeon Fog. Dungeon Fog is a cloud-based map-making tool, if you didn't know. It's really awesome. The people over there are really great. It's a really great product. It's a cool website. Go check it out at dungeonfog.com. And if you go to dungeonfog.com/manshorts, you can get 10% off the annual subscription. If you decide that you want the annual subscription, use the code manshorts to get yourself 10% off. So now I'm going to pass things over to Ethan. It's just me and him this evening, playing the story of Tantor and what's going on with him once he was ripped through the portal.
All right, yeah, I do like the name of Tantor's Journal. I think that's what we can call this little mini series here. Yeah, like Chess said, it's me and him getting real intimate with the DMs here today. Uh, when we last left off our intrepid adventurer Tantor, he got possessed by a orb of wrath, attacked the party. He does remember all of that, so you do remember all of that happening, kind of at like a passenger in your own body. You didn't have full control of everything was happening, but you are aware of everything that did happen. Um, and all you last remember is a like blinding red light, and then you now woke up on this field that it looks like there's snow falling all over, and you look around and take stock of your surroundings, and you realize that your body is feeling a little bit lighter as you uh, try to get yourself up with your right hand, and then you kind of fall over a little bit, and you look down and realize that your right arm is gone, kind of truncated right above the shoulder, or not right above the elbow. You D around you, there's the orb that was in your possession that caused all this to happen. It is inert right now. It is just like a gray orb right now. There's no color emanating through it. You don't sense any power from it or anything. And taking a little bit more stock, you see your surroundings. Uh, it doesn't smell like snow. And as you actually kind of put your left hand down to pick yourself up, it kind of all just disintegrates like dust, and you realize that all of this around you is ash, and all of these piles that on the map kind of look like trees. They're actually piles of what look like um, really ancient funeral pyres.
Okay. Do I see anything actually burning anywhere?
Go ahead and give me a survival check to see, if there's any embers anywhere still left. Are you just kind of checking around all of them?
Yeah. I'm just kind of glancing around to see if I can see if I can see fire burning anywhere. By the way, people can't see it on the screen because the numbers start at the top. It's covered at the moment, but I rolled a 9.
Okay, so yeah, you're not able to see anything that looks like it's currently burning right now. These look like the wood looks very, very charred. You don't even think if you tried to start a fire with this wood that it would light anymore. It seems like all of this energy has gone off already.
Okay. Um, what is the situation with my arm in terms of should I make myself, well, I should say that I'd like to make myself a tourniquet if I'm still losing blood, and being a loxodon, having like an elephant arm severed, that leaves quite a bit of an opening for blood to be pouring out of.
Yeah, lot of blood would be pouring out of. Thankfully, the explosion and portal that pulled you to wherever you are actually was hot enough to cauterize the wound as soon as it severed it off. It was a clean cut, and it seared your flesh, so there's no blood loss happening.
Okay. Well, Tantor is relatively simple-minded. Relatively simple-minded. But also, he's a warrior. So upon seeing that my arm is gone, the first thing that I'm gonna do is pull my heart stopper trident and
Mm-hmm.
try and sort of manipulate it around in my hand, and basically recognizing that I'm going to have to get used to using my left arm as my main combat arm. So I'm just kind of taking a hold of it and trying to start getting used to the idea of using it.
And Tantor was never used his left arm for like combat or anything, right?
Um,
Let me see.
Not really. I mean, the Deadmaker sword is a great sword. So it is two-handed, but he
But
is
you were primary
right-handed.
Right?
So yeah, he's not that adept with his left arm.
Okay. So while you're using like your especially with a trident, it's a pretty hefty weapon. But since it is like tridents are typically a two-handed weapon, and you're also using it only in your offhand, while you're using it, you'll use it at disadvantage.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, not cool, but a fair.
Yeah.
Um,
Until you get to learn to use it a bit better.
So now I want to, as I'm kind of like thinking about, what that's going to be like, and already deciding and knowing that I'll be at a disadvantage. I want to also look at the orb. You said that the orb is just kind of like not really doing anything at the moment.
Yeah, think Dragon Balls after a wish has been made on them. They're it's like completely gray, dead. There's not even like a reflection on the surface of the orb.
Okay. Well, as awful as my experience has been recently, and I still know that there is importance to that because Tantor was there. Well, I don't know that there's importance to it, do I? I don't remember. I don't remember what I know.
You remember that it was powerful, and it was the thing that was powering the Titan. Other than that, you don't know about the other orbs though, because Tantor was gone before then.
Well, I still think that I would keep it. I mean, even if for nothing else, it's sort of a trophy. But I also don't know like if its existence. I'm gonna just hold on to it for a while. I'll just put that in my bag.
Okay.
And then I guess that I'm gonna look for a way back or out from where I am. I mean, what is around me from the standpoint of, are there any kind of like major landmarks that I can see or anything like a sun or a moon or something that would give me some idea of direction?
Yeah. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Oh,
Okay.
I have pretty good perception.
So so you take stock of your surroundings now that you've kind of taken stock of yourself, and from looking around where you're at right now, it does look like this was a place of some very large battle. You're seeing as you're kind of shuffling through the ash that's constantly falling, which you're not sure where it's constantly falling from. I mean, ash has got to come from somewhere, and there's no fires on any of these pyres. You can see grooves in the ground from very ancient magics and weapons that have scarred the ground. But it's been a very long time since anyone has really even set foot on whatever this land is. And it seems like from the amount of wounds into the terrain that this was a very large battle. As you're looking around, you're finding it actually really hard to see anything from the amount of ash that's around. And you take a look up to try to find the sun, any other landmass, or anything like that. And all you can see is like just grayness above you. You also want, what's your intelligence score?
It's not good. Hold on. I think it's a -1. Yep, I have an 8 in intelligence, so it's a
Um,
-1.
give me a raw history. It
Uh,
looks like you don't have anything else with it. Oof, no. So, yeah, you're perusing your memory, and while an elephant might never forget, I don't think you even learned anything
yeah,
uh,
probably
that is
not.
like this or anywhere you are. There, you're looking all around, and there's nowhere. There's no sun in sight. There's no sky in sight that you can see, other than this like gray ash that's kind of permeating everything. So I mean, you can start wandering if you'd like, but right now, yeah, you're in like this vast open terrain that look like you're in the middle of what huge war zone.
Um, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of wander. Um, I mean, if I'm not able to see, if I'm just kind of in a void, I'm just gonna kind of wander. I mean, my only other option is to sit here and starve to death. So
Yeah, you got to find some kind of sustenance or something soon.
I'll just wander
Um,
up this way.
okay. Speaking of that, go ahead and give me another survival check.
Oh my gosh, dude! I have a
Okay.
5 to survival. That's terrible.
uh, yeah. So your stomach is starting to remind you that it has been quite a bit since you've kind of eaten or drank anything. Do you have any rations in your pack? I know y'all had like the dungeoneering packs when you first started out.
I think I
Do
do.
you? Okay.
I'm usually good about that. I'm usually good about yeah. I have wines, fruits and vegetables. Um yeah, and I've got rations.
Okay. So yeah, your stomach is reminding you that it's been quite a while since you've eaten or drank anything. So you take a one last kind of look around to see if you're safe, and think that it might be a good time to revitalize yourself, especially with going into the unknown. You don't know what you might end up running into.
Yeah, I'll eat some fruit and have some wine.
What fruit is it? Is it oranges?
I was,
Oh yeah, what fruit do you have?
I was thinking that it doesn't specify.
This fruits,
It's
veggies,
we
yeah.
just got it from the wine cellar, right?
Yeah,
Um
yeah,
at the Frummy Castle.
yeah. So it's like grapes and stuff. There's no oranges in there.
Thank God. All right.
They're
Yeah, so
all
I'll just
oranges.
yeah, I'll just sit and nosh.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember for RP purposes like what Tantor knows. So really all we knew at that time was that we were that there was a noise happening in the ocean. And we went to
That,
investigate and then came across
that like
that.
the source of the rage was coming from like some emanation in the ocean. And then you found the Titan thing, fought that, took out the source, which was that orb that then made you very, very angry. So you're not even sure that your party survived. You're not sure what the aftermath was, if you solved the rage or anything.
Okay. Um
Right now, while you're sitting in Noshin, give me a perception check with disadvantage, since you're noshing on your wine and fruits.
9.
Okay. So while you're sitting over there in your noshing, you kind of hear it's like this like noise coming from this direction.
Okay. This way.
A little bit more east, but yeah, kind of that direction.
That's disconcerting, I guess. Does it sound well, I guess that I probably wouldn't be able to discern from a 9 whether it's like does it sound like natural? Does it sound like someone moving? Does it sound like a
It
person?
it sounds like something moving. Unless this person has like big wicker feet and is dragging the feet, that doesn't sound like footsteps, but it's kind of like dragging, shambling motion or sound.
And is it coming toward me or going away from me?
With that perception, you're not able to really tell like the movement of it. You just know that it's in that area is what you're hearing.
Well, then I'm gonna swallow the last couple of grapes from the bunch and chug the last of my wine and then start headed that direction. I'm gonna ready an action to attack if I need to. I'm gonna just kind of like just kind of have my trident at the ready.
Okay, so as you store all of your wine and fruits and veggies for your uninterrupted break, you pick up and ready your trident and start out, and on the corner of your left eye, this mass of vines and plants kind of slams down next to you, barely missing your trident. You turn to look at the source of such a thing, boop, and you see what looks like it's just this large collection, mound of plant life. You stare deep in, you can see two like very dark red orbs in the center of it. But other than that, it's just like this undulating mound of vines.
Is that this thing you just sat down?
Yep, that is this thing.
Oh boy.
You have one action to either step in to instigate fighting, or if you want to run away.
Well, I mean, if it was trying to attack me, I'm not gonna. Tantor doesn't run.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna attack, I suppose.
All right, let me go ahead and delete everyone first. Okay. Yeah.
So I'll just get a standard attack, and then we'll do initiative.
Yeah.
13.
That will not hit.
Okay. Well, then I guess that I'm gonna just kind of like whiff at it, and then just adjust myself and get ready for action if need be, if we're rolling initiative.
You took kind of a haphazard swipe, but you're so used to swinging from your right side that you're not used to the angles on the left side, and you pass right in front of it instead of really stepping into it and getting the shoulder in there. So you go ahead and roll your initiative.
Oh, I like to see that. Oh, but I didn't attach it to my guy. Sorry, I forgot. I always forget that.
I got you. Yeah, it's all good. That's what I'm here for. All right, what's his? Ooh.
I like the sound of that.
First. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know where I rolled. It wouldn't really matter too much. I got it at 20, but he has a -1 to his initiative. So
yeah.
So you'll go up first.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna try swinging again, I suppose. Ugh. Well, I know that doesn't hit. But I get two attacks.
You do have 2 attacks. Yes, you do have 2.
So I'll try again. This actually works out well that I'm rolling poorly, because it's good for the RP. Tantor's learning how to use his left hand. I'm guessing negative.
Yeah, that's a negative as well. There, Ghost Rider. Hold on. No, don't show. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll go up next to next guy, the little shambler, and he's gonna turn towards you, and it's a very slow movement. And then as it's even turning around, you hear the shh of it turning.
Do I know what it is? Like, is it a creature, or is it a spell that's being cast by someone?
It is a creature, yes. You do know that much. If you want to give me a knowledge nature check, or I think it's just called nature check in 5e, to kind of figure out what it is.
And of course, the thing I have a -1 to, I roll well.
Okay, so this creature is a Shambling Mound. They are normally conglomerations of plant life or some kind of organic life that have been pulled together through unnatural forces, not necessarily with intention, but something to where like just natural, like innate spell casting or arcane energy happening have kind of pulled these vines and this organic life together. And you're noticing as you're looking even deeper in it that while some of it's vines, some of it's actually bits of wood from the pyre, and then looking even deeper, some of it looks to be bits of charred flesh. So it looks like something is brought all like it's starting to pull all these pyres together, just from the natural energies of whatever in the world happened here so long ago. They're usually aggressive, and if they get two slams on a creature, they'll actually try to engulf them into the mound. They are also immune to being blinded, deafened, exhausted, and they absorb any kind of lightning damage.
So
So
it's turn, isn't it?
yeah, so it swung two hits on you. It got one slam in your chest as you dodged out of the way. You dodged the way of the right slam, but as the left slam came up, you instinctively tried to bring up your right arm to parry it, and it just slammed right into your empty limb, and it will deal. What is it? Two. Yeah. It'll deal 10 damage, 10 bludgeoning damage to you.
Ugh. Okay. My turn.
Now it's your turn. Yep.
All right. So casting a spell. Fifth level it's 2 actions, right? Because I think that 3-5 was different in the way that the attacks worked. The reason that I have 2 attacks is because I have 2 actions. Is that correct?
So it's not that you have 2 actions. You still only have one standard action and like a move action and all your free actions, reactions, and stuff like that. But it's just at 5th level, your attack action becomes 2 attacks. So it's not
Okay.
like you can do a spell and then an attack. It's just your normal attack action is 2 attacks.
Okay. So I think actually for this turn, I'm going to just use it to cast Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark is your bonus action.
Oh, is it? It is a bonus action.
Yeah, it is. But I'll give you, since you haven't played Tantor in a while. If you wanted to have done your bonus, your Hunter's Mark is a last turn. Now it'll give you that kind of extra damage because you just marked that creature.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'm gonna try and attack twice more. 22 and 17. Those are better rolls.
Okay. So remember, you are dealing with disadvantage right now because you're left.
Oh,
So the first one won't
so
hit.
10 and
But
17.
the 17 will hit. So you'll do your Heartstopper damage and then the extra 5 from your Hunter's Mark.
No way, dude. So 6.
So 6 plus, and then your other plus your strength. So 11.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's right. I hadn't considered
I don't know why the Heartstopper is not actually bringing into effect. I guess because you rolled a 1 on it.
I think also that it's. I don't know why it's got that thrown thing in there. I don't know if has anything to do with how it's calculating the damage.
Tridents can be thrown, so it's just giving you the range increment if you choose to throw it.
Okay, so that's not. I mean, 11 damage. That's better. That's good. Mm-hmm. So, and it's cool too that I swing and miss and then I hit.
All right, and then now we'll go. Its turn up again. It's going to try to hit you twice. So both of those ones kind of swing and miss. You're as you stabbed your trident in and kind of pulled out, it reeled back a little bit and tried to slam onto you. And didn't actually end up getting it. So you're up.
Cool. Twice more. Ugh.
Okay. So both of those will miss, but you're starting to get the hang of kind of rolling with the left hand. I know this is unorthodox 5e because you don't actually have these. So you're starting to get the weight with your left hand a little bit, and kind of using your trunk as like an offsetter, like weight offset for your right hand. Kind of throwing your trunk to the side as you get it in to get the weight right. So you'll no longer do with disadvantage, but you will do it at -2.
Okay, cool.
And it's up.
Oh man, I wonder how many people's heads are exploding, like trying to figure out if that's more fair or not.
Yeah. Yeah. So that both of its actions missed as well. And you're up.
All right, cool. Let's hope for better rolls. So 16,
16
and
and another one.
7.
Okay, so the 16 will hit. So go ahead and roll your damage there. And remember, it is less than its max hit points. So you get your whatever. I think it's like giant killer thing.
Oh, yeah, the Colossus Slayer. It's an extra D8.
Colossus Slayer. Yeah, yeah. And then your Hunter's Mark. So 9, and then your Hunter's Mark.
Oh, and max on the 8.
16. Yeah. And then remember your Hunter's Mark damage.
That's just the 5, right? Or do I roll that every time?
You roll that every time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's 17 to 21 damage that one. So that one you synced for the heart on that one, and then pulling out. And when you pull out, you pull well, it seems like this mass of what looks to be like very, very compressed and petrified wood and vines together with two little tiny what look like eyes, like red eyes, and then those red eyes go dim, and the whole mass of itself falls apart into its constituent pieces of wood and vine and charred flesh.
Well, that's good, I suppose. It's good to see that I'm not completely helpless using my left arm, and that I'm sort of getting the hang of using that. Is there anything that I could find that would be useful from that? Or is it just kind of just a pile of compost?
It's like a pile of compost, yeah.
Can I tell what direction of the fog that it came out of?
So it came from like where you're facing. It seems like it was kind of in the pyre that was behind you as you were sitting there eating, and looked to try to ambush you and pull you into the pyre itself. So that the northeast of the that was happening, you haven't heard, like you haven't found the source of that, and you actively actually start hearing that sound again. It looks like it's coming from directly east of you.
Okay, well then I'm going to go back to investigate that thing, because that's originally what I was trying to do before I got into a fight with a tree.
So as you head east, from out of this pyre here, you see coming around the corner kind of the same creature, but much larger. This thing actually looks like, and you can actually see like bits of bodies themselves are embedded and hanging off of this thing. And this thing looks like it has on its arms a set of like weapons that look like they've kind of been just smashed together.
Weapons?
Yep. I mean, I'm talking about like, you're looking at swords, knives. There's the daggers in there. Just a general like army weapons. Of your normal, I would say peons, but yeah, the frontline army weapons.
Probably just from like some basic infantry soldiers.
Yeah, like long swords and things like that. But they're kind of all like twisted and fused together into like kind of one big one that this thing itself is wielding off of its arms.
Can it see me?
It does see you, and it is slowly shambling its way towards you.
What are you?
That's all you hear.
Okay, so no seemingly language of any kind. It just is marching on me.
Yep.
All right, well then I guess that I'm going to head towards it.
Okay, go ahead and roll initiative. Yeah, you keep your same. Yeah, go ahead and keep your same.
Okay.
Combat never really like stopped for very long.
It never stopped for Tantor.
And meanwhile, this whole time, Ash has been falling the entire way. Okay, so you'll go up first.
That's helpful also, because that's just erasing footprints, so just making it more difficult for Tantor to find himself out of here.
Yeah.
All right, well then I'm going for it. Well, okay, I'm gonna do the Hunter's Mark as the bonus action.
Okay.
And then Heartstopper attack, Heartstopper attack. I'm assuming the first is a miss, but then the second one would be a 26.
So the first one does actually hit, and the second one hits as well.
Oh,
You'll
yeah,
still
yeah.
crit on that. So go ahead and roll. You'll do a hit and a crit.
Okay, so hit for this one with
So
also
that's
roll 1d6.
so that's 6 plus your hunter's mark. So that's 9.
That's 9. And then on top of the crit damage, I'll also be rolling Colossus because I just took 9 of its health.
But the Colossus itself, along with the hunter's mark, doesn't. Oh no, I guess it is. It is doubling.
Would it
Yeah.
stack as a separate attack?
So the Colossus is like the additional damage. It's kind of like when you get like additional fire damage kind of thing on like a flaming sword. Those don't crit. It counts as like the precision damage. So the Colossus one won't double, but all your other damage will.
Oh, so I'll have double Hunter's Mark?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I think that's what it did. So you have 3 plus 3, so that's 6 there, and then do your Heartstopper.
No, I already did. This result is from the Heartstopper, the second Heartstopper roll. So then I'll roll the 2d6 for Hunter's Mark, which is an extra 10, and another d8 for Colossus, which is an extra 4.
Okay, so in total you did 34 damage on that attack. And that when it comes up and you see it's kind of, even its movements with its arm to attack you are very slow. And it comes to swing down the amalgamation of swords. And you kind of step into it and stab it in its arm. And then once you stabbed in, you slide that all the way up its arm and across its chest. And bits of these are flying off sideways as you kind of like cut deep into this thing. It looks like as you peer into it, there's just even more and more layers of tree bark and pyre logs and vines, and it looks like even some like armor is in there, like on the inside, that didn't quite melt in the funeral pyre flames. It is now its turn, and its arm that you stabbed in is going to continue sweeping through you to try to hit you.
Bring it on.
So the first swing, it kind of like wraps around you. When you like stabbed in, its arm kind of like whipped around. That's the first swing of it misses you, but then it redirects the swords and kind of twists its wrist in towards you, and the point of the sword catches you in the right side in like your kidney area, and he did crit to put it back on you.
Oh boy.
And you'll take 30 points of slashing damage as he like the tip of that sword conglomeration stabs into your body, and then it kind of pulls out and recoils around.
All right. Well,
to be ready for another swing.
I'm going again.
Yep.
More and more. Oh no.
With all the exertion that you've been doing, and I gotta punish the nat, like so many nat ones. You've been exerting yourself so much trying to throw your left hand and left arm, trying to really get used to this trident, that the cauterized wound that you had has actually ripped open a little bit. It's not a heavy bleed, getting a little bit, and so every round you'll take 1 point of bleed damage.
Ugh.
And then both do miss. So it's the big Shambles turn.
I'll just do my best to brace myself.
It gets 1 hit, and that one is only 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Well, I'm not out for the count yet. So if it's my turn, I'm gonna try again.
Okay. That one will hit. And that one will hit as well.
225s. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
That's 7.
So that's 7, 9, 16,
Mm-hmm. And then your second attack.
10,
That's
12, 18.
Oh, and that one you refocus yourself as your body is getting stabbed repeatedly by this gigantic conglomeration of swords and just shambling ooze mess, and you go for that open wound that's in its the horizontal wound that's in his chest, and you try to stab the try to aim to twist, and you're trying to just basically twist bits of its body out. You're making good progress. You're taking chunks of its chest out, trying to get to that center core again. It's looking like you're almost exposed to it, but not quite yet. It's up again. So it looks like it's trying to change tactics now. Instead of stabbing you, because it's kind of you're getting close to its core. Instead of trying to stab you, actually about like where an elbow would be in its right arm, kind of grows out like vines, and then it brings its other hand around. It's trying to slam you with both arms like the other one did, to try to engulf you. You see this coming and kind of do a little leap. You kind of like dive down to avoid that, and the vines kind of coalesce and come together right above you. It's now your turn.
All right, more attacks.
Okay, so the first one hit, but the second one won't.
Okay. Oh, good. I was hoping that would be the case. So that's 10, 14, 15.
So you're getting to where you can see the exposed bit of like the core that you pulled out of, like it's like the one you pulled out of the other one. It is a mite bigger. So to put in perspective, this thing is like the one that you're fighting now. The one that you were fighting earlier was about like maybe 6 feet tall, so it's about even with you. This one's about 15 feet tall, so it's a lot bigger.
Oh, wow.
And so its core is about like the size of your chest, and so you can see the light kind of coming from that, but you're not quite able to reach it yet. And now it's up. This time it goes to do the slams, and it does get both of them this time. So you'll take 7 points bludgeoning damage, but since it was able to get you with both of the vines, it's now pulling you in to try to engulf you.
Okay. And then I also took an extra point of bleed damage.
Yep.
Okay. Am I grappled? Can I attempt to, when it attempts to grapple me, can I make a check to not let that happen? Or
so it is
it grappling based on its successful attack?
It's a DC 14. Like when it successfully attacks, like with both, it grapples you. And if the grapple is successful, it will then engulf you. So you need to make a DC 14 escape check, or a counter grapple check, which is just a strength check.
Just a straight up strength?
Yeah, to break out, or an escape artist check. DC 14. Yeah, so you're able to, as it like it's getting its vines in and it's pulling you in, you're almost there, and you surprisingly with one arm and in your trunk, you wrap around both ends and you are able to rip the two arms apart, so that you're no longer grappled.
Oh, heck yeah.
And then you are up.
All right. Come on, Heartstopper.
So both of those are hit.
Awesome. So 7, 13, 16. Now that brings it up to 26, 28, 33. Oh, yeah.
So as it grappled you and it was engulfing you in, you were able to see, like, really get a good view of the core of it. And as you ripped the arms apart, and as you're starting to fall through the air, you reach in with your trident, just blindly stabbing in, hoping that you'll hit and make purchase before you hit the ground. You stab in, and you feel it puncture the petrified core of it. You twist and rip it out, and then turn your trident upside down so that when you land trident first and stab the whole thing into the ground, and then land next to it.
Yeah.
And so as you do so, you actually feel that like the magical energy releasing out of the core itself, and the whole thing just kind of shambles. Shambles apart, and you're able to make out. If you go ahead and give me a perception check,
I have vanquished you, foul beast.
and now I will loot your
Oh
corpse. Oh God.
no.
So yeah, it's a massive, a lot of bodies, and but the only weapon you're able to find inside this mound is the massive of fused together steel and swords that it was trying to attack you with.
Is there like a small trinket or something that I could
Continue.
just take as a trophy?
You were able to you can all right. So you're able to find in one of the swords, you're able to find an intact pommel
Oh, okay.
of it is a very ornate design. Somehow the design itself, while old and rusted, looks like the design itself is intact. Somehow it was able to survive the heat of the funeral pyre. Taking a look at it, you're not able to really understand, like really. Well, let's. I'll throw you throw you a bone. Give me one more history check to see if you can discern what pommel this is from. Okay.
Oh, that ain't bad for
You
a -1.
not too bad. No. So you are able to discern that reaching far back, you've never actually seen a pommel of this design before in real life. You have heard from the few history books that you read, coming from back from the creation of this of the worlds and the floating islands, that this design that's on the pommel was usually kind of reserved for the frontline guardsmen of Norbert Peabody
Clunkerjack.
Clunkerjack. Yeah, I was trying to remember what that what his last again was. Yeah, so it was kind of it was the pommel set aside for the front guard of Norbert Peabody Clunkerjack.
Interesting.
And then taking a look around, as you're interestinging. Go ahead,
I,
now I
I
gotta
can I
actually.
can I give another perception check?
Yeah, sure.
That's more reasonable. I At this point also, like, I'm not too I don't really care too much about the, well, in Tantor's brief experience with his trident, I should say using his trident, is there a weapon there that might serve him better as far as being able to adjust now to using his left arm, or does it seem like it would probably better serve him to just stick with his trident?
So there are bits of long swords that are in that kind of fused together mass, and you could probably pry apart one of them. But none of them are in like great condition. Like they're all of them have some kind of deformity, either in the handle being bent or twisted, or somewhere along the blade. The blade itself is bent or twisted. So it'd be more wieldy, but it won't do as much damage as your trident would do. I mean,
That's
normally
true.
longswords are a D8. If you hit with that, it'd be a D4. But you would, bless you, you would run it with no penalties. I mean, it'd be a lot easier to swing around with your left hand, not being as heavy or as unwieldy with one hand.
Okay. Um, then I'm gonna grab one of those,
Okay.
just to kind of have. I think that for now I'm gonna stick with the trident, but it would be nice to have a weapon that I would be able to wield a little bit easier if need be. Also, like if I'm ever in a situation where I need to like throw my trident and then use something other than a hand axe, so I'm gonna try and
Mhm.
pry a long sword, whatever the best, what seems to be in the best condition, the best one I can get. I'm gonna try and pry out of the pile.
Okay. So you were able to take a part of the pile, and as you run up and you kind of take stock of everything, as you're looking around again, I know are you full screening the or maximize on the map?
I am
Yeah,
now.
go ahead, Max. Go ahead, Max on the map. So while you see on your screen only like four or five more of the tokens, they're only really representative of groups of them. There are groups of these shambling mounds now coming out of the funeral pyres and heading towards you.
Oh boy. How many are there?
There are, let's see here. There are 20 of them that are shambling towards you.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
they are very slow, but there's a lot of them.
yeah, and I'm not in the best condition to fight 20 more of those things. So I am going to, if I'm able to, take an action, cast Pass Without a Trace.
Nice.
So, Veil of Shadow and Silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has a +10 to Dex and can't be tracked except by magical means. And a creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage. So I'm going to cast that on myself.
Okay, and just start getting out there, and so it will be a little easier to make it out because as you pointed out earlier, the fact that all this ash is falling is kind of covering up any tracks you would have normally, anyways.
Yeah, and
So
also it's cool because the components that are needed for the spell, the material components are ashes from a burned leaf or mistletoe and a sprig of spruce. So a sprig of spruce. So I think I'm good.
You have plenty of that to use around you.
Okay, and then I can do that for up to an hour. So I'm pretty much just gonna like make myself disappear, and then just kind of wander.
Start booking it.
Yeah, just kind of. I'm gonna actually. I mean, since I have it, I'm trying to get an idea of like. So I'm gonna kind of head like this direction.
Okay.
But ultimately try and go like this way, because what I'd like to accomplish is like go toward where they're coming from without them knowing that I'm there, if that makes sense. So I don't want to just like walk straight towards them, but I want to kind of go
skirt around
the
them.
direction that they're coming from.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of roll them as
so like this way.
Groups of give me a stealth check, just like one set stealth check.
And this is a +10 to Dex. Oh no, to the check itself.
To the check itself, yeah. To Dex stealth checks. So
35.
Okay. Yeah, they are all kind of shambling to where you were. You effectively disappear in their eyes. You even like you come across like as you're coming around here, you come across one that's right here, and you pass right behind it, and it doesn't even notice you. So much so that if you want, you could even take a deeper look into the Shambling Mound. Try to see if you can discern anything else.
Yeah, I'd like to try that. By the way, why would you be a ranger? Just be a fighter. Oh, because fighters can't cast pass without a trace. So there. Yeah, I'll do a perception for that to see if I can discern. Should I do like I mean, it's obviously some form of magic. Should I do like some kind of an arcana check? I mean, I don't have shit for arcana, but
really everything I told you about earlier about like with the knowledge that you did of what the Shambling Mounds are is really all the arcana that you're getting off of these things. It's just there's a lot of innate magical presence in this area. Like you can feel it like a field. It's almost like a film all on your skin as you're walking through, and it's this kind of aura that has like drawn them all together. Did you ever play Final Fantasy 12?
yes.
Like the magicite, like the aura, like with all that, like the yellowy, like
the aura stuff. Yeah,
that's kind of like what's going on right here. There's been so many like ancient magic and strong magics that happen in this area that it's left just this innate, almost like a disease of magical aura in this area.
Okay, well, I'd like to do my best to get the hell away from it. So. Yeah. I'm gonna just kind of
So,
keep going this direction.
all right. So with that perception, you're able to see more kind of like now that you know what you're really looking for. You're able to see more of like you're discerning, trying to get more human body bits, and you're getting little glimpses here and there as you're kind of walking around all of them and perusing for perceptioning. That it seems like there were some kind of sex of six different armies or factions fought here. One of them being the one you remember of Norbert Peabody Clunkerjack. The other five, you're not really sure. You don't recognize the symbols on their clothing's buckles and things like that. But there are six distinct insignias that
And
are
these
in the
are
different maps.
where the in the different mounds of
In the mounds, yeah, from like the bodies that have kind of been thrown in the funeral pyres that have come to become the Shambling Mounds.
so this was a huge war.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's is it one that I would
Um.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. No. No. Normally elephants don't forget. You, sir, have have shattered that stigma.
I don't know what
I
things are.
I also love how you rolled a nat 1 and a nat 20.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Tantor rolls.
All right.
Yeah, I was just
So
gonna see if there was anything else I would know, but I mean, that's enough really to discern that. I think that Tantor, especially since he's like spent a lot of his life at war, like he recognizes that like, oh, well, there's six different sigils here. Like this was a huge war going on.
yeah. I can't from this tell like who was aligned with who, if it was an all-out battle royale, but there were factions together in this fight. Um,
Am I still
as you're
on my plane? Am I still on like is there any way that I could determine like
Yeah, you know you're not on a different plane of existence. You're in a different area altogether, just from somewhere you've never seen before. But you are 100% confident you're on your own plane of existence. Your body doesn't feel
okay.
any different. It doesn't feel lighter, more ethereal, or anything like that.
Well, it does feel a little lighter, but
Yeah, not like unnaturally, supernaturally lighter or anything like that.
okay.
So as you continue on, you're past all the shambling mounds, and you feel like you've been traveling for a couple hours. It seems like you're on like a battlefield. Everything's like this flat plane. You're still in this kind of miasma of magical energy and ash. However, in the distance, you are seeing what looks like the outlines and remnants of some kind of settlement or building. It looks small, almost like a temple of some sort. But to you, all it screams is shelter. And I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and bring you up to that. And let me put you in.
Yeah. So I'm going there for sure.
And so you
Also,
head up to the
just
temple.
for RP purposes, can we just make that travel an hour because that's as long as I can do pass without a trace.
Yeah. You're fine. Yeah, no one found you. You were able to actually like staunch up finally like the bleeding that was going on in your arm, so you're not bleeding anymore.
Oh, good.
However, you are low on health. Like you're not doing very well. Uh, and as you come up from this temple, you see what looks like on the left and right side of the temple, or this building. Not even sure if it's temple yet or not. But of this building, there looks to be spaces where almost like there are statues. You see bits of rubble that are definitely not the same stone structure as the building itself. They look to be almost marble, but you're not able to really. I mean, it's in too much disrepair to see what the statues were of or anything like that. As you're coming up to the building, it is very much in disrepair. It's not intact fully. There are whole walls that are exposed to the elements, and it looks like ash is kind of into those openings as it just continues to fall. And there are bits of roof that are still left, but it looks like this building was hit by what would be, ancient magic days of an orbital bombardment. Like there are gigantic holes in the roof and sides of this building. Somehow it's still standing though, but it looks to be like an okay place of shelter right now.
So it looks like it was attacked more from above or sieged from the sides or both.
Both, and also by like heavy magics. Like, I mean, it to put it into like real world perspective, it's like someone dropped, like aerial bomb on this thing, but magic's version of that.
Right.
So this was in whatever in the hell, like whatever happened here. This was some kind of high target area that really got hit hard. And as you're coming up, you're actually also noticing kind of pitted holes in the ground. And they are very, I mean, you've been seeing them for the past about 30 minutes. And they're gigantic holes in the ground that don't look like they were made from any kind of bombardment or anything. They are very irregular in the cracks and the outlines of the holes, and they're not all the same shape. And there are 5 of them, and they've been kind of leading their way up to this temple.
There are 5 holes.
Yeah, and they're massive holes, and they're all kind of different shapes. From being on the ground level of them, not really like an aerial view of them, you can't really discern if there's any kind of pattern to the shapes. But they're not like they're not circles, they're not ovals, they're not like ellipses. Well, one of them is kind of a very very long, almost cigar shaped ellipses. But they seem like they weren't made from like a spell or a bombardment or anything like that. They like something came out of the ground and like made these holes.
Uh-oh. Well, then I'm gonna... And there's no fires burning anywhere, right?
No, there's no fires burning.
Okay, well, I think that, I'm not in the best shape, and I need to get to a place where I can just kind of, like, semi-safely rest. So I'm gonna go into the building and try and find a room that's the most intact. I don't think that it serves me the best to stay out here.
As you enter the building, which I mean, there's not even a door on the building anymore. You can just walk straight into it. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Not the best at Arcana. Ugh.
Okay, so as you step into this, it's almost like you went through almost like you went through a sieve, but the other way. Like you were on the outside of the sieve, and now you're on the inside of the sieve. And the outside of the sieve is where like the sifted through bits of magical energy were, and you've now stepped to the source. It's so potent that as soon as you step into it, it like takes your breath away a little bit, and you kind of have to like you have to get like settled to get your bearings. It puts you on high alert for a second, but it doesn't seem like anyone's home. And we'll go ahead and we'll end there for the week.
Awesome. Okay, cool. That was lots of fun.
That's good.
I'm glad I didn't die. So cool. So that is going to be part 1 of Tantor's journal. Do you have a plan for other ones of this that we will do? Is there another one or another few or what?
Yeah. There's a certain like mapping out that's going to happen. So we probably have 2 or 3 more. So yeah, there's going to be quite a bit more. I mean, not going to be like 4 or 5 more or anything like that, but a couple more.
Awesome. So that'll be cool because we'll be able to keep track of what Tantor's doing with the rest of the group. So I have no idea when these are going to be released. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. I would assume that I would recommend watching the full campaign of Airships of Nuada before watching this, or, maybe by that time we'll probably have a way of structuring it as to recommend when to watch Tantor's journal while you're watching the campaign. But at any rate, this video was sponsored by Dungeon Fog. head over to dungeonfog.com/manshorts, set up an account, and if you decide to purchase and become an annual member, you can get 10% off of that membership cost. Thank you for Ethan for taking some time out of your day to get this done. I think that the fans will really appreciate it. I think it adds lots of cool wealth and stuff to the story. So we'll see you next time we do Tantor's Journal.
Bye.
See you later.